Hi everyone, it's still Yong. I'm just not wearing my glasses. I got contacts on and I am too lazy to take them off and put my glasses on, so this is the mug you're dealing with for today. But anyway, let's talk about scalpers. The bane of the existence of people who want to get a PlayStation 5. Their time has come to an end, it would seem. Supply has caught up enough where now scalpers are just struggling to sell their PS5s to a point where they have to lower prices dramatically. So for those who haven't kept up with the scalping history of PlayStation 5, I mean, as far back as 2020, November 20th, 2020, would see photos like these of people just hoarding mass amounts of PlayStation 5s. This is just a reminder that there are people who did not get a PS5, and then there is these people who have been amassing these and just selling them off for profit. And the kinds of headlines we've been seeing throughout the years have been discouraging. I mean, some were so desperate to get PlayStation 5s that people working at Amazon would swap out PlayStation 5 orders with toys, cat food, or simply nothing at all and send those boxes out while stealing PlayStation 5s. But scalping was really just a significant contributor to why there was such a short supply of PlayStation 5s. This is a Business Insider report from November 21st, 2020. One reseller group snagged nearly 3,500 PlayStation 5 consoles, and this is like during launch period, so at the time that was a significant sum, and the resale market might be the only place to score one after it sold out everywhere online. And keep in mind, this was just one reseller group. A bunch of people also were doing this, so, you know, that adds up to the tens of thousands of units. And then on November 24th, PS5's UK stock shortages are partly driven by scalper bot groups. You don't say. Then we have this headline from November 25th. Scalper Group says it has no regrets over reselling 3,500 PS5 consoles. The way they put it is like, well, it's work. It puts food on the table for its members. But if you're making money off of the expense of others, then you're kind of just being really shitty. Like, you can excuse it however you want, but you are being an asshole and profiteering off of being an asshole. And then right here, November 29th, 2020, Xbox Series X was also hit with scalping. Now, PS5 being in higher demand, it was especially bad for PS5, but Xbox people were also struggling to find during the launch period, and those were being scalped as well. Then moving on to December 2020, PS5 Scalper Group claims 2,000 new purchases and says it's finding it easy to obtain consoles as retailers just refuse to up their security measures. It was just incredibly easy for these scalpers to create programs and bots that would just automatically do this stuff, and they were extremely successful at it. In fact, PS5 and Xbox Series scalpers have reportedly made over $28 million on eBay. Studies suggest that 60,000 next-gen consoles have been resold on the online marketplace, which is utterly insane. Now, some retailers like Walmart apparently stepped it up. Back in December 15th, 2020, they reported that they blocked more than 20 million bot attempts within the first 30 minutes alone in which PlayStation 5s became available for purchase. And this problem got so bad that during December of 2020, UK politicians suggested a call for action against PS5 and Xbox Series X scalpers. When it comes to consumer protection laws, Britain tends to be more active than, say, America. And so I don't know how far this went, but, you know, it got bad enough that it raised the attention of politicians, especially because the scalping issue was particularly bad in the UK, with many groups, I believe, being based in the UK. Scalper bot firm claims it secured 2,000 plus PS5 orders from Game UK today. This was from January of 2021, and they were bragging about it on social media and whatnot. Another day, another €400 profit per console. Where else you see that kind of return? Don't want to miss out. You can get involved too, basically trying to goad people into becoming scalpers in this like kind of like triangle scheme or something. I'm not sure. Either way, they were encouraging more and more people to partake in this insidious endeavor. Here's somebody else bragging about it on Twitter. Over 2,000 checkouts successfully logged for today's game restock on the PS5. Just keeps getting easier every time. This is January 19th, 2021. And as these scalper groups and individuals bragged about this stuff, they got all of this backlash. Here's somebody else bragging about the bots that they've been making on January 25th, 2021. Always creating and innovating. Perks of having great in-house developers who are making programs that can snag PS5 PS5s before people have a chance to check out. On January 26th, there was reported just how poorly managed some of these retailers are in terms of security measures, with loopholes allowing scalpers to buy consoles early. Like literally before customers were allowed to place their orders, these bots somehow managed to find a way to buy them before they became officially available. And if you really want to do a deep dive into just how bad the scalping got, on January 29th, 2021, Michael Driscoll posted the following analysis in which he broke down the $143 million PS5 scalping market, breaking down the percentages and just how many units were sold through eBay, StockX, and all of these reseller websites. And keep in mind that this is as of January of 2021. No doubt the market only grew throughout the years, throughout 2022. And scalpers actually had the audacity to go out there and be like, hey, why are we being perceived as the bad guys? Here's a report from Forbes. PlayStation 5 scalpers aren't happy with their public image, stating things like, there seems to be a lot of bad press on this incredibly valuable industry, and I do not feel that it is justified. All we're acting as is a middleman for limited quantity items. That is a solution in search of a problem, and solution is not even the right word. That's a problem in search of a problem. Let's not act like you're doing some kind of community service here. You want to profiteer by kind of adding a wedge in this whole system by making it harder for people to purchase these consoles, by driving up prices. As somebody else put it, he is deluded. He doesn't get he's another layer of profiteering in his own Tesco analogy. He's not Robin Hood. Damn right. Which is why after like 2.5 years since the launch of PlayStation 5, the internet is celebrating as they read headlines like this from The Gamer. The days of PS5 scalpers are over. Resale listings for the PlayStation 5 have had to drop their prices even below MSRP because PlayStation 5 supplies are much more available and people know not to go to scalpers for them because they're getting a really bad deal at this point. The Gamer linked to this particular Reddit post that highlighted this. Don't even feel a little bit bad for them, said this Reddit user. Nobody should feel bad. And right down here you can see cheap PS5 sale. You can see just how many PS5s this individual managed to accrue, and they've had to lower prices significantly to $400 below MSRP. And scrolling down, you'll find plenty of people celebrating this. 97% upvoted this particular post, and people are saying things like, I saw that today. I'd rather buy one at retail with receipt for warranty. That's the thing. Even if scalpers are selling at below MSRP, do not encourage them. Do not buy their stuff. Let them deal with their losses. And also, yeah, you don't get that warranty. You just get still the short end of the stick. And also just screw scalpers. Do not encourage them. But this is kind of what they've resorted to. No doubt some people among the masses who, are waiting for an opportunity to get a cheaper PlayStation 5 MSRP will go for it. But the fact that there's so many celebrating the downfall of scalpers at this stage now that PS5 supply is caught up, it's just something that I thought I'd share with you guys, because I know many of you who have wanted to get a PS5 have been frustrated by this issue. It's finally the end of PS5 scalping, people are saying, with thousands of upvotes. Only took 2.5 years from release, which, yeah, that kind of goes to show the kind of demand that PlayStation 5 has been seeing and is still seeing, but supply is just finally catching up. PS5s have been selling incredibly well. It's the fastest selling PlayStation console, I think. PS2 still holds the record for the best selling console of all time. Curious to see if PS5 is able to surpass that based on just how fast the console is selling currently. I hope he has to go down to like $230 for people to buy. Would be hilarious. Maybe could have paid off tuition if they didn't scalp. This brings a huge smile on my face. Fuck scalpers, so on and so forth. The general sentiment is, finally, hell yes. Let's get some popcorn, watch these scalpers scramble to sell off the mass amounts of PlayStation 5s that they have sitting in their backyard that are just kind of collecting dust with all this money that they spent on these units that now they have to sell at a loss, potentially. Going to eBay right now, you can see just how much prices have fallen. At most, these PlayStation 5s are being sold at a little over MSRP. This God of War bundle, for example, $600 when it's, a $560 or $570 bundle. But if you scroll down, you'll see some of these going below MSRP, $450, just in that range of wanting to present a more advantageous price point for customers who are thinking about getting it through retailers for selling it at like $500. They're trying to like goad people to, buy a slightly cheaper version. And the hope is that people don't buy too much on this. But either way, a lot of these folks are going to be losing money on this, or just not making anywhere near the profit that they were hoping for off of these units. And if you look at Xbox Series X listings on eBay, it's even worse for scalpers because Xboxes aren't as in demand as PlayStation 5s are. So a lot of these are going for, you know, significantly below MSRP in the 400s region. Some are still selling at a little above MSRP, but I don't imagine many will buy this at this stage because Xboxes are a lot easier to find at retail stores. And so you can see the price points really dropping off. And while that's happening, why not enjoy the show of scalpers desperately trying to make a little profit off of their efforts, or just suffering losses and taking that hit. And it's not just on eBay where this is happening. Reseller outlets across the board are seeing prices go down for PlayStation 5s. Here, for example, is a Redditor reporting that I saw a Facebook marketplace seller doing the same thing around $400 as well, just under retail. However, when I messaged him, he told me that was just for the listing and they're actually $500. Went to the store that day and got one. At least now I have a warranty. Yeah, it makes no sense for scalpers right now to sell at MSRP because you might as well go to the store and get a version with warranty instead of this secondhand thing that's, you know, at MSRP that you could buy at a store where they offer just a little more, a little extra security. Not to mention with scalpers, you have to wait until they ship it to you, whereas if you go to a store, you can get it immediately, and they might charge you for shipping, so it might actually cost more. Just don't bother with scalpers at this point. Hopefully, next generation, when that comes, we can do a better job at this. We can you know, just learn from what happened with PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X and begin to add security measures, kind of like how, you know, Steam with the Steam Deck. You had to have a Steam account and you had to prove that you've been playing on Steam for a certain number of years. Walmart, you know, they blocked like 20 million attempts or whatever, queuing systems and whatnot. Like, there are plenty of ways that retailers can step up their game to mitigate bots. I have little doubt that there are ways to combat scalpers. It's just that retailers are not keeping up and they're not placing just even basic security measures to help mitigate this. But next generation consoles are a couple years away, so we won't have to go through this process for a while. But once we hit that point where we do, you know, we got to step up our game here. I suppose only time will tell how all of that will play out. In the meantime, though, if you want to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, just be on the lookout. It's going to be a lot easier to get them from here on out, hopefully. And just stay away from scalpers and don't fall prey to their antics. Let me know in the comments below what your experience has been like trying to get a console recently, PS5, Xbox, you name it. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.